So you're using a standard credit card or maybe even a debit card, and every time you make a purchase, you're left with this feeling that you might be missing out on something. Chances are you've heard of the whole collecting points thing before, but you've put it aside because you're a busy person, the challenge feels daunting, anything to do with credit cards just makes you nervous, or maybe you've been collecting points for years already on your credit card and it's nowhere close to a free flight, so you don't believe it's possible. No matter what, you've probably also realized that you just don't know where to start, and that's what brought you here. If this sounds like you, then you've clicked on the perfect video. And if you watch through this whole video, I can guarantee you will be booking flights for free or almost free multiple times a year for years to come. And I promise you, this isn't one of those videos that tries to sell you on a course or an ebook at the end. This is 100% free, unsponsored, unbiased, a full guide on everything from the ground up, because I believe everyone deserves to travel more for less. By the end of this video, you will understand all of the basics, know which card is actually right for you, how and when to sign up for the biggest rewards, how to pay for the card properly to keep a good credit score, secrets to earn way more points than before with the same spending, and I'll even give you a 6-month plan to earn your first free international flight. And let's make it clear from the get-go, you don't have to be spending a lot of money on your credit card to earn a lot of points. Instead, simply by spending the money that you would have spent anyway, but in a smarter way, and then learning to redeem those points for the best value, you can start flying business class and first class, staying in high-end hotels, and traveling the world in a way that you could have only ever dreamed of. But let's start at the beginning. To understand how to earn points, we first have to learn how the banks make their money. Otherwise, it seems like they're just handing out free money, and that doesn't make any sense. Once you understand how the banks make money from credit cards, it's a lot easier to play your cards right, pun intended, and not feel like the bank might just be secretly stabbing you in the back. Credit cards earn the bank's money in 4 main ways. Number 1 is annual fees. Some credit cards have an annual fee that you need to pay just for having the card. This fee goes directly to the bank, so our goal will always be to get more value from the card than this fee charges. Don't worry, this isn't actually very hard, but more on that later. Number 2 is transaction fees. When you use your credit card, the bank charges a small fee to the merchant for processing the transaction. This fee may seem small, about 1 to 5 to 3%, but it adds up because so many people use credit cards to pay for things. The store pays this fee, not you. But since some credit card companies American Express have higher fees than others, some stores don't accept certain cards to save on those high fees. Immediately you might think, okay, then I shouldn't use those credit cards, but since they charge the store higher fees, they're also able to offer you more points or more rewards. Banks sometimes negotiate special deals with merchants. They might charge merchants a bit less if the merchant encourages customers to use their credit card. Think Costco with MasterCard. Number 3 is foreign exchange fees. If you use a credit card in a different country or to buy things in foreign currencies, the bank might charge you extra fees for converting the money. This also adds to their earnings, but I'll share some cards with you with no foreign exchange fees later on if this is important to you. And this is a big one, interest charges. If you don't pay your full credit card bill on time, the bank adds interest to the amount you owe. This is like a fee for borrowing money. The interest can be quite high, especially right now, and that's how banks make a significant amount of their money. And that leads me to what may be the most important piece of financial advice here. If you know you can't pay off a credit card in time, don't use it. If you're currently in credit card debt, then please work on paying it off first and then come back here and start this points collecting journey later. I can't tell you how many people I've seen using their credit card for purchases they can't afford and justifying it based on collecting points. The points will not make up for the interest you pay on that debt, especially with current interest rates. So please, if you take anything from this video, don't ever build up credit card debt, especially not in pursuit of credit card rewards. Okay, the boring part of the video is over. If you made it here, you're committed and it's time for the fun stuff. How do you earn points? You have to earn points first before you can redeem them, and ideally you want to earn them cheaply, quickly, and easily. Now, if you're like 99% of the people out there, you might be thinking, well, it's taken me 10 years to earn 10,000 Aeroplan points, so I'm gonna keep saving these points for when I retire, and then I'll finally have enough points to take a trip. But that, my friends, is the wrong way to think about it. Most people earn these points the regular way by flying, spending on your credit card shopping, and buying groceries, and this does add up over time, and I will show you what cards to use and where to use them to earn points up to 5 times faster, but it's not the best way to earn points. And later I'll share with you how the true experts make a year's worth of points in a fraction of the time. But let's first start with earning points the good old-fashioned way, spending money. If you have a credit card already, do a quick Google search and find out how many points you earn earn per dollar with that card. Chances are it's around 1 point or 1 mile per dollar spent. To give you a frame of reference, an average international economy class flight is around 50,000 points, so you would have to spend $50,000 on your card just to earn an economy flight, which is not really that great if you ask me. Most people put around $1,000 or $1,500 on their credit card per month, which typically means around 1,000 to 1,500 points per month. We can easily increase this significantly with 2 steps. Number 1, put simply, put more on your credit card. But don't be alarmed. This does not mean spend more money. It just means make sure you're using your credit card for everything possible. No using cash, debit, e-transfer, PayPal, or anything else. Again, only do this if you know you can pay it off at the end of the month. If you're looking for something to add to your to-do list this weekend, go through all your subscriptions and expenses and make sure they all get charged to the right card. Once all your subscriptions, groceries, shopping, online purchases, and everything else are on your credit card, then one step further, consider paying for other people on your card when taking an Uber, going out for a meal with friends, or pitching in for someone's birthday gift, as long as you trust that they'll pay you back. We can take it even further by adding our rent to our credit card by using services like Chexy here in Canada. Chexy basically charges you the merchant fee but lets you pay your landlord using a credit card. We just need to make sure we have the right card that earns more points or cash back to offset that merchant fee style charge. More on this later. This leads to our second way to earn more points, which is number 2, using the right card. Now, I will go deeper into which cards you should get in a minute, but if you're only earning 1 point per dollar, it will take a long time to earn any meaningful type of points, even if you manage to put thousands of dollars on your card every month. Ideally, we find the right card for each type of purchase so that we can accelerate that earning rate to get 2, 3, even 5 points per dollar that we spend. That flight that you would have taken 5 years to save for now takes only a year. Again, later on in this video, we'll dive deep into exactly which cards I'm talking about. So just to keep track of the difference that these simple things can already make, let's just say you can go from $1,000 a month on credit to $2,000, and then we can get your points earning rate up from 1 point per dollar spent to an average of 3 to 4 using the right cards. Suddenly, you go from around 12,000 points per year to around 100,000 points per year just by playing your cards right. If that sounded promising, you'll be surprised to hear everything I just mentioned is still not even the best way to earn points. What if I told you that you could earn the same 100,000 points way faster and with way less total spending? Welcome to the world of welcome bonuses, and the reason why I have dozens of credit cards myself. The real big points don't come from all the little purchases, even though you should be doing everything I mentioned earlier as well. The real big points come from the incentives that some credit card companies offer for new card users. Let's take a look at an example of these welcome bonuses using the classic American Express Business Platinum card, which offers the highest welcome bonus on the market for Canadians in general. At the time of recording, this card currently offers up to 120,000 points as a sign-up bonus, which for reference is enough to fly round-trip internationally in business class or purchase about 6 round-trip economy class tickets, say from Vancouver to Cabo or Toronto to Cancun for you and some friends. Now, it's important to note that the numbers and the welcome bonuses that we share in this video do change frequently, so if you're watching this in the future, go check out the current offers and requirements on our website. You can find the link in the description below. And speaking of requirements, don't get too excited because there are some requirements that we'll need to work through to get this insane sign-up bonus after getting the card. And if we look at the current welcome bonus as of early 2024, you'll receive 80,000 of these points if you spend $15,000 in the first 3 months, and then another 40,000 points when you make any purchase within your 14th to 17th month of having the card. Now, basically everyone is going to hear $15,000 in 3 months. Do the math and go $5,000 per month. I don't spend that kind of money. And you're probably right, but I bet with some clever financial planning, you can work it out. The most common way to make this work is by timing getting the card around life events where your spending will be abnormally high, such as a big family vacation, a home renovation, purchasing new electronics, or say your wedding. Believe it or not, this is the most common way that people get into credit card points collecting, since the amount of money you spend on your wedding could earn enough points to cover the whole honeymoon in first class. Weddings aside, let's say you put your $2,000 per month rent on your card using Chexy as mentioned earlier. You've increased your normal card spending for groceries and shopping to $1,500 a month by ensuring that you're not using cash, debit, or PayPal ever and putting everything on a credit card. You spend $3,000 on a new MacBook and $1,500 on a new iPhone. And just by timing your sign up with these 2 big electronics purchases and using your credit card effectively for your monthly bills, you spend that $15,000 and earned yourself that 80,000 points in 3 months' time. And in the case of this offer, if you sit on the card for another year and a bit, make a purchase within months 14 to 17, you'll get that further 40,000 points for a total of 120,000. And again, remember that these offers change all the time. They won't always have such a big spending requirement, and they also won't always have such a big amount of points associated with them. These numbers always fluctuate up and down, so it's always about following on to find out what the best offer is going to work for your purposes, and you'll definitely want to subscribe to our channel and follow our content to know when the best offers come around. Now, all of this is just to illustrate sign-up bonuses, but it's important to mention that there's an $800 annual fee that comes with this card as well. Ouch. We'll dive deeper into if this card is right for you and some ways to break down that annual fee, but for now, let's go over one more example using a card that's maybe a bit less intimidating for beginners. One of the best value cards for a sign-up bonus right now is the American Express Gold Rewards card. This card has a $250 annual fee, but still currently offers a path to earn 70,000 points in sign-up bonuses, and all without spending nearly as much. The sign-up bonus at the time of recording is as follows. You'll receive 10,000 points upon spending just $4,000 in the first 3 months, and then you'll get 5,000 points upon spending $1,000 in each of the first 12 months with the card. That's a total of up to 70,000 points. Now, spending $1,000 a month on a credit card is much more achievable and less intimidating than our last example, and at the end of the year, you'll still have 70,000 points to use towards a vacation. And don't forget, this offer is also always changing, so make sure to check out the latest offer in the link in the description below. It might actually have a higher bonus with a lower spend by the time you watch this. Now, in an ideal world, you'd be signing up and trying to earn these welcome bonuses multiple times a year and lining up your expected spending with certain credit cards that offer a good bonus at the right time. That's truly the whole game. How much will or can I spend, and what cards would give me the most points for that spending? Okay, we're halfway done, but it's already been a lot of info thrown in your face, so let's summarize what we've learned so far before moving on. Banks make money with credit cards through annual fees, transaction fees from merchants, foreign exchange fees, and especially interest charges on unpaid balances. Therefore, it's vital never to carry credit card debt if you can't pay it off on time. The key to accumulating points efficiently is twofold. First, maximize your spending on your credit card for all possible expenses, and second, use the right card for each purchase to earn more points per dollar spent. By optimizing these factors, you can significantly increase your points accrual rates. Even so, the real game changer comes from welcome bonuses offered by some credit cards, which rotate from time to time and allow you to earn substantial points with clever financial planning, such as timing the right sign-up bonus with your significant expenses like vacations or weddings. These bonuses can accelerate your points earnings dramatically, and in an ideal scenario, you'd be signing up for multiple cards throughout the year and aligning your spending with cards offering the best bonuses, ultimately bringing you closer to your travel goals faster. Remember, it's all about maximizing your spending while managing your finances responsibly. If you have any questions so far, drop them in the comment section where I or someone from the community can help you out. Also, while you're down there, make sure to subscribe to the channel, which helps us creating these videos for free, and we're so close to 100,000 subscribers. Now, you might be asking yourself, will having multiple credit cards at the same time harm my credit score? Well, contrary to what many people think, the answer is no. As long as you manage your credit responsibly by paying each credit card bill in full and on time, and don't use up too much of your total credit limit, generally aim to be under 20 to 30% usage, your credit score will remain healthy no matter how many cards you have. In fact, by demonstrating responsible credit use across various credit products, your credit score can even improve over time. And indeed, many of us who do this get a bunch of credit cards, travel the world all the time, but we're always paying our credit card bills on time and in full every month. We actually see our credit scores increase as a result. If you want to delve deeper into this topic, you can find some helpful resources linked in the description below. And if you're wondering, can I just apply for every credit card available without consequences? We'll explore that question later on, so stay tuned. But now you're probably thinking, which credit card should I actually choose? It's crucial to understand that not all credit cards and their associated points are the same. Let's get straight to the point. If your goal is to use points to enjoy luxurious travel experiences and to maximize your budget when traveling the world, don't worry about Avion, Aventura, Avios, and all those other programs for now. They'll come into the picture later. The best starting point for luxury travel is with American Express and Aeroplan. And the good news is both of the credit cards that we talked about earlier are extremely powerful for earning points in these two programs. Now, here's the most important thing you should know. American Express points can be transferred one-to-one into Aeroplan points, and both types of points are easily earned through the major Canadian credit cards. If you look at the American Express Business Platinum card, you got 120,000 points, the Gold Rewards card, 70,000 points. Both of these cards earn American Express points, and all of these points can be pulled into one account and then transferred one-to-one into your Aeroplan account. And once they're with Aeroplan, you can use them to book flights, which is the ultimate goal. But to reach that goal, you need to be clear on which specific credit card to apply for within the American American Express and Aeroplan ecosystem to best align with your spending habits and the rewards that you want. We've covered the Business Platinum, we've covered the Gold Rewards card, but let's talk about one last option you might decide to consider, which is the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card. In my opinion, it's always a great place to start. This card offers an annual fee of $139, and as of the time of recording, it's rebated to you for the first year, which means you don't have to pay anything out of pocket in order to earn most of the current welcome bonus of 40,000 Aeroplan points. You'll receive 10,000 points just for signing up and making your first purchase with the card, 20,000 points upon spending $5,000 in the first 180 days or 6 months or so, and 10,000 Aeroplan points upon renewing the card for a second year after spending $7,500 in the first year. Keep in mind, renewing the card will cost you the $139 annual fee for the second year, which you will have to pay. However, this is far lower than the $250 annual fee on the Amex Gold card or the $799 on the Business Platinum, so it could still be the best option. As always, these offers vary from time to time, so check out the latest numbers on our website. But the big idea to take away here is that whichever credit card you choose, you want to use your new credit card to spend money on your regular daily expenses that you would have spent money on anyway, rather than spending money on extra stuff that you don't need. The TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite is a great place to start due to the first year free offer and the manageable $5,000 in 6 months, which should be easily achievable for basically anybody. But the bigger and better rewards will come on the more expensive cards like the 120,000 points with the Business Platinum card that we mentioned earlier. So it's going to be a bit of a trade-off. Do you want to spend more fees and get more points, or save on the fees and have more manageable spending requirements but end up with fewer points at the other end? Now, this decision may or may not be outweighed by the fact that the premium cards tend to also have better benefits that will justify those higher annual fees too, especially if you already travel frequently. Take the Business Platinum card for example. For the $799, in addition to the welcome bonus of 120,000 points, you also get unlimited lounge access around the world. You'll get access to Priority Pass, Plaza Premium, and American Express Centurion lounges, which makes traveling so much easier. And if you want to see a full video just on airport lounges, then click here to watch that. You also get a $200 annual travel credit, which can be used towards any travel purchase made through American Express, which effectively drops the annual fee down from $799 to $599. And in addition to that, you also get instant Gold Elite status with Marriott Bonvoy and Hilton Honors. These are two of the most major hotel programs out there and gives you benefits like room upgrades, free internet, breakfast, and late checkouts when staying at Marriott and Hilton hotels. You'll also get a $120 cell phone bill credit, taking that $599 down to $479, and a whole range of other perks that will help elevate your travel experiences. So that $799 annual fee at first, which had seemed intimidating, is now looking more justifiable now that you get a huge welcome bonus and ongoing perks in exchange. Now, there are plenty of other American Express and Aeroplan credit cards out there if you're looking to rack up those bonus points beyond the ones we mentioned, from the American Express Aeroplan Reserve card to the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite Privilege, all the way to the no-fee CIBC Aeroplan Visa card. If you want a full list of credit cards in the Canadian market, you can check out our website princeoftravel.com, where we give you all the information and records of previous bonuses as well as minimum spending requirements, so you can easily see if now is a good time to sign up or if it might be better to wait for a better deal. If you already know what card you want, make sure to apply through our links on the website. It helps to support the channel a lot. Now, once you've established your credit card strategy and identified the cards you plan to get, the next step is to be organized and responsible. The biggest mistake you can make at this stage is applying for all the cards at once just because you're enticed by those tempting welcome bonuses left and right. It might seem great to apply for all of them and have a plethora of points, but that's typically not the best approach. Applying for multiple cards simultaneously may lead to denials, and it could even harm your credit score temporarily. Remember, each credit card application results in a hard inquiry on your credit report, which temporarily lowers your score, but it does increase over time as you use the cards responsibly. The right approach, on the other hand, is to space out your credit card applications over time. This way, you can naturally meet the minimum spending requirements without resorting to excessive spending. Additionally, spacing out your applications allows you to maximize the number of welcome bonuses that you can earn over time without stretching yourself too thin. The key principle here is to plan which cards you intend to acquire over the next 6 to 12 months and apply for a new card roughly every 2 to 3 months. This strategy ensures you're consistently working towards a new welcome bonus without overwhelming yourself with too many new credit cards all at once. And lastly, you'll want to be as organized as possible to keep track of all your credit cards, their respective annual fees, and their minimum spending requirements. I personally recommend using a spreadsheet to maintain this information. So as promised, now that we know the basics, let's set you up with a 6-month plan to earn your first free flight on points. The first thing anyone needs to do is create a spreadsheet with all of your monthly expenses and total up anything you could put on a credit card. rent, subscriptions, gas, groceries, shopping, etc. Create one column for fixed expenses that don't change month to month, and another for variable expenses, things like groceries and shopping. For your variable expenses, just go back in the past 3 months of statements and work out an average. We aren't really looking for an exact number here. Once you have a total amount that you can expect to put on your credit card, including rent if you pay it, start a new sheet and list out any big or abnormal purchases you need to make in the next 6 months. And now that you know what you'll be spending, you can use our credit card tool on princeoftravel.com to filter every available credit card sign-up bonus by your maximum required spend. Pick one card for your first 3 months and then another for your second 3 months. And by the end of the 6 months, you should be able to receive 2 sign-up bonuses and have anywhere from 60,000 to 200,000 points depending on your spending habits, which is more than enough for your first flight. Now, speaking of redeeming your points, this is where we need to talk about the fact that earning points is one thing, but redeeming points is a whole other thing. And if you ask some people, earning points is easy, just figuring out the credit cards to get and applying for them, but redeeming points is more of an art than a science, and you're really gonna have to spend a bit of time and put in a fair bit of practice in order to get the ins and outs. The key thing you need to know is that not every flight that you can book with cash the regular way can actually be booked on points. There's this notion of award availability, which means that most airlines will only release a subset of the available seats for people to book on points. Typically, this is going to be between 4 to 9 seats in economy class and usually only up to 2 seats in business class. So these seats, especially the ones in business class and first class, are generally going to be really tough to find because everybody wants to be redeeming their points for the premium cabins, but there's usually only 1 or 2 seats that are released consistently that everybody is competing for. Sometimes airlines will release 3, 4, 5, 6, or even more seats in business class, or they'll drop a whole bunch of business class award space without any warning, and this is your opportunity to use your points to go ahead and book those flights. But other times you'll most likely be competing for those 1 or 2 seats with everybody else who's looking to book, and because airlines typically open their schedules about 9 to 12 months in advance, this usually means that when you're booking travel on points, it's typically best to book 9 to 12 months in advance, and you want to plan carefully so that you can actually take these hard-earned points that you've earned through credit cards and turn them into your dream trips. Now, there's one exception to this, and it'll be really useful if you're the type of traveler who's very flexible with your plans. Airlines typically also release a whole bunch of seats at the 2-week mark before departure. So if you're able to plan last-minute trips and enjoy the spontaneity of traveling on short notice, then your points can come in really handy as well. In fact, that's how I personally have typically been traveling for the past year or so. I usually don't book many trips with my points until about 2 weeks in advance because I know at that point, a lot of airlines will release their unsold seats to be available to be booked using rewards points, and that's when points collectors like ourselves can actually go ahead and book the flight that we want with more flexibility compared to booking, say, 6 months in advance when we might be faced with pretty slim pickings. The next key thing to understand is that all of the different points programs were not created equal. Like I had mentioned, American Express and Aeroplan are the best places to start if you're in Canada and if you're a beginner to this whole thing. But once you get familiar with American Express and Aeroplan, you'll probably start getting interested in delving into the other points ecosystems out there, like RBC Avion points and how they link up with the One World loyalty programs, British Airways Avios, Qatar Airways, American Airlines, and so on. Then you've got the bank rewards programs like CIBC Aventura and Scotiabank Scene Plus. And then beyond that, in the advanced levels, you get even more airline programs and hotel programs. All of these programs have their own sets of rules and charts and sweet spots for the best way to redeem those points for the best possible value. And that's all a little bit beyond the scope of this particular video, but if you do want to delve into the nitty-gritty of all of the programs out there, check out our guides that we have here on the YouTube channel, but also on our website, princeoftravel.com, where we go in depth telling you about the best ways to earn, redeem, and maximize points in each of the major loyalty programs out there that are available. And finally, the last key thing to know about redeeming points for travel is that it won't always actually be the best deal to redeem points at all. Sometimes it might be a better idea and a better way to optimize your overall resources to actually pay cash for a flight or a hotel and save your points for a future usage. There's this video on our channel that goes super in depth into this topic, so if you've been with us the whole time and understood how credit cards work, how to earn points, how to choose the right rewards program, and how to redeem points on a basic level, then your next move is to fully digest this video so that you can make sure to maximize the value of your hard-earned points every single time.
Oh, I'm sick.